All right, we're part two of essential oils and organic gardening, and we're talking about essential oils in this little part. So, um, why do we want to use essential oils? We've talked about we wanted to get rid of all the herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizers that are chemical based. And so, what do we substitute them with? A little elbow grease, I know, for organic gardening, but also essential oils are awesome in the garden. And so they are effective in chasing away harmful garden pests. They protect plants from disease. They improve the health and growth of plants, and they attract beneficial insects. So that is why we want to use essential oils in our garden. What are essential oils? Essential oils are the life force of the plants. They're extracted from shrubs, flowers, trees, roots, bark, etc. And within the plants, essential oils protect against plants, pests, disease, and harsh environmental conditions. So within essential oils, there are hundreds of active constituents that work together in harmony to create the immune system of the plant to help, in harmony to create the immune system of the plant. So they basically bring a homeostasis to the human body as well as other plants. So that's why we're going to use essential oils. The most important part is that you're not going to using essential oils is using a quality essential oil. I love Young Living. We trust the quality. We trust them. We've seen them. They work. We've seen them work in our lives and so many other people's lives. So we're going to put them on our plants because we're eating our plants. We're walking around in our grass. So we're going to use essential oils that are quality. Most essential oils that you get from the store are going to have a carrier oil, or all of them from the store, to be honest. You're going to have this much carrier oil and this much actually essential oil, and they don't have to say it. They're totally unregulated. So you wouldn't want to be putting, some type of carrier oil in your garden or spraying them on your plants because that's not going to go well. So the most important part of using essential oils in your garden is to have a quality essential oil. Young Living tests from the seed to the point where it's sealed to make sure that everything is done in a way that's going to produce health and quality essential oil. And so that goes from picking the best seeds of the type of lavender or whatever plant it is to make sure it's a really high quality seed and plant. And it's going to it's going to harvest and cultivate and hand pick the weeds in a way that's going to not use any chemicals, any harmful chemicals on the plant. It's going to distill them in a way that is not gonna, it's like in stainless steel vats. It's a more expensive distillation process than most of them that you're gonna get on the market are gonna be distilled in a aluminum vat, which puts traces of aluminum in your essential oil, which is a neurotoxin. So we don't want to do that. So they use stainless steel vats and they distill them at a certain temperature for a certain time for each plant. So they go through stringent taking care of making sure you're going to get the most quality essential oil. So that being said, we're talking about Young Living essential oils to use for your garden. So I don't want you to kill your plants. Don't go get some cheap thing from the store and use it because it's not going to produce a healthy plant or you don't want to put that on your vegetables. Okay, so we're going to talk about the common garden pests. So we're not using pesticides, we're not using chemicals to get rid of those bugs, we can use essential oils. So I'm going to post this in the Facebook post when I post this video, but I have a picture of all these different bugs and what essential oils work with them. I got this from Essentially Grown, Natural Gardening with Essential Oils from growinghealthyhomes.com. I love this book. I use it all the time. It just gives you basic information. It's not overwhelming. It just organizes it, recipes for your garden depending on what your needs are. So that's where I got it from. So for like instance, ants, they hate peppermint, spearmint, citronella, orange, and cedarwood. You can make an ant spray when you know what ants don't like, right? Some other bugs that I hate, fleas. So some essential oils that work with fleas are lavender, peppermint, purification, thieves, basil, clove, eucalyptus globulus, rosemary, and citronella. Those are all bugs that are all essential oils that are gonna help get rid of fleas and repel fleas. Slugs and snails are certain different oils for them. Squash bugs, ticks, lice, um, cockroaches, chiggers, aphids. There's essential oils for all of those. So, what do you do with those essential oils once you have them? Okay, so the ways to use essential oils in your garden. The first way is to make a spray. So the spray, you'd get a gallon of water and you'd put 8 to 10 drops of essential oil in there. You shake it and then add it to, your spray bottle, but make sure you shake it. Remember, we're working with oil here, it's going to the top. So you shake it, dump it in that spray bottle, and then you can spray it on the plant as well as the roots, like the base of the plant where it's going to get into the roots. That is great for deterring insects. Cotton balls is another way. You can put 4 to 5 drops of oil on a cotton ball and place them around your garden, and that's really good for deterring like ground moving insects or like mice, squirrels, cats, dogs, which is essential oils for all those as well that they do not like to be around. So that helps with them. If you hang some strips of cloth and kind of spray them or dip them in your oil water mixture, it's really good for deterring like cats and other animals, but it's also a great way to attract pollinators. So if you want to put something that attracts pollinators, like orange and lang lang are really good at attracting bees. And if you've worn it outside, you would know that already, because I love wearing lang lang in my hair. I put a few drops and put it in my hair just to help with shine and stuff. Well, and I love the smell. But yeah, bees chase me when I go outside like that. So it attracts a pollinator. So you can do that in your garden as well. And that helps you need pollinators to produce more fruit and vegetables. So that's important in organic gardening. And then string deters flying insects. So you can string them in between plants to get rid of some flying insects that you don't like. A few different safety tips for essential oils, which I forgot to mention at first, was don't apply your essential oil mixtures to your plants if it's over 100 degrees because it can cause them to burn. Put them on dry plants because you're working with oil here. We want it to stick to the plant. So spray directly on a plant that's not wet already so that it will get onto the leaves or the plant. Also, like conifers and pine trees, those kind of trees, maples tend to be really sensitive, the leaves and the pines, so it's best to place those at the bottom, the base of the plant, rather than directly on the leaves and pines. And then make sure if you are using, if you have a cat specifically or animals, you want to make sure that they're not sensitive to the oils you're putting on. You don't want your cat to be in your garden with a ton of orange oil because they don't do well with citruses, for example. So make sure you know what, you're not putting anything unsafe for your, specifically your cats. If you ever get essential oils in your eye, if you're a veteran oiler, you already know you get essential oils in your eye. You try not to, but you do. So you put a carrier oil on your finger, like an olive oil would be a carrier oil or coconut oil, and just dab the top of your eyelid and the burn will go away. And it's not going to damage your eyeballs. It's just going to burn. And then store your essential oils in a dark, cool place. So we have some different recipes that I'm gonna say, and then I will post them in the comments below in the Facebook. But a broad spectrum pest spray is 10 drops of peppermint oil, 10 drops of thyme, 10 drops of clove, and 1 gallon of water. So that's 30 total drops of oil in that water, which was a little more than what our initial recipe I said, but that's because you're doing a broad spectrum gardens pest spray, and so you combine into a gallon of water, put it in a spray bottle, and then spray it directly on your plants, liberally on and around your plants. Fire ant spray is 6 drops of peppermint, 5 drops of cinnamon bark, 10 drops of orange, 5 drops of wintergreen, and in a pint of water, and then you just spray on your ant hills. And then a basic weed killer is the best way, of course, is pull your weeds by hand. Don't let them start producing seeds and then try to get rid of them. That just doesn't work. So pull them by hand as they come up. Support your good grass growth and your good garden growth, because those will those will choke out those weeds if you have good grass. So use your organic gardening skills to help your grass grow stronger, to get rid of the weeds. Pick the weeds while you're doing it. But if you want to get rid of some weeds, you can combine 8 to 10 drops of any of the oils that I'm going to mention, and then you're going to mix it with 20 ounces of white vinegar. Number 2 is you're going to mix with 20 ounces of white vinegar, and number 3 you're going to put with 1 drop of Castile soap in there. So the essential oils that weeds do not like and are good at killing weeds is cinnamon bark, palo santo, basil, pine, and oregano. And then you spray them directly on weed. Do not spray them around the surrounding area if it's in your grass. Just hit the weed. So, and then one last recipe is a pollinator's favorite blend. If you want to attract some awesome bees and butterflies to your garden, this is great to add to cotton balls, strings, cloth strips. But you can put 12 drops of lavender mixed with 8 drops of rosemary and 5 drops of orange oil. Mix them together and just put a little bit on each of the cotton balls and strings and stuff, and hang them in your garden and attract some of those awesome bugs that help pollinate and help your garden be stronger. So that's part 2. And I wish I had part 3 and 4. That might come next year when you become more of an expert. But you guys, thank you for joining with me. Get this book if you want to be a gardener or you are a gardener, because it's awesome, awesome information. All right, you guys have a good day. Bye.